Hi, Oak. I didn't saw your didn't saw your text, so I was kind of focused on something else. I'm doing fine. It was a hard, it was just another average day in Burbank. I think I got the primary villagers that actually stayed in Burbank throughout the years. I'm just trying to think about how to include this theme's villagers. There's only two, there's nothing else. There's only two villagers for this arc, for upcoming, and that is pretty much it. Yeah. Though I'll admit, Kaizo showing up in that video caught me off guard, and I just didn't know he would just reveal that Atlas' death was straightforward. Oh, I'm just assisting Justin on creating. I'm just trying to recover Justin's PlayStation account. That's what I'm doing at the moment. In the game, I'm just sitting down staring at Kaizo in front of me, but I'm in behind the scenes. I'm just trying to help Justin recover his account. Aside from that, are you actually curious about anything? It's all right. It's all right. I'm not. I'm not too bothered by it. And like I said, you can always like go back. You can always like revisit it anytime. It's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, I guess, cause I already knew Atlas was dead months ago. No, yeah, that eye is Kaiser. That eye is the real Kaizo. Um, the best way I can like describe it is it's literally like default what his default appearance looks like. So I will admit, this is I know little on what Kaizo actually is. All I know is he is based on what I am in a nutshell. But he's like has like my negative traits for some reason. And the main reason why it is difficult because I am more mysterious than anyone. Oh, I managed to figure out about that. All you just had to do is just click the live stream button, and then it should just jump into like the current live stream. So hopefully that helps. So if it's on mobile, then I gotta like check on that. I guess I'll work on the account later. I gotta like focus on the stream. It's like halfway through the countdown. No, yeah, you just press the live chat and there we go. Actually, now that I actually think about it, it's kind of odd that Kaiso showed up in an Avery-focused episode. Ever since yesterday, he was getting more suspicious on what I have planned recently. I don't know. It's like he's trying to keep an eye on something. I guess I could explain like how Avery is most of the time. When I first met Avery, he it's exactly how you expect like a cranky villager once everyone moves in. He got the chance to see how Burbank evolved. Of course, he sees me as like a young kid. Over time, he's actually the only ancient eagle that I actually know out of all the villagers that I have, and than he is way older than everyone else in Burbank. Surprisingly, we both have the same mindset, how we view life in general. I guess he really appreciates how the past is most of the time. And if you actually think about like on why I always cherish the past most, you could see Avery as that. You could see Avery as that villager. When I introduced him to Eternia, he was surprisingly the only person that was kind of yeah, I'm like oh yeah, it oh yeah, he always does that every time if it's out of convenience or if it's related to what was yeah, and always like in the most inconvenient times. The first thing I guessed is it has to be related to something that I'm not aware of. Because I know, because I know when it comes to random information or something unrelated to the topic at hand, Kaizo shows up for some reason. Maybe he's trying to like spread confusion into like the information that we have provided. Because all I got was just his current appearance and his past appearances. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Uh, yeah, Avery was one of the villagers that doesn't actually see the present. He always like looks back to the past and to the future. And based on what he's reacted in current timeline, he's just trying to make sure that I'm okay. Which then magically orchestrated this appearance that I actually have, which will evolve over time. The only noticeable change is my shoes. Yeah, I guess that's all I could think about at the moment. Yeah, before like the stream started, I was mainly curious on how like Tolkien was. Ever since I heard Justin and Riku like talked about how they're gonna like display the fighting games. I think I know why I don't have much to say because I've already explained everything related to the past couple of videos, and I've already am at the point where I've already explained my situation the best I can before I completely let Echo go. Because this is something that wasn't easy to do. And he still is interesting even nowadays. It's definitely a big step for Justin to move on from Echo. And like I said from previous live streams, it wasn't that easy. It's something he truly cares about. He can't latch on to attachments forever. Very tough to let go of. For this one in particular, it is a core identity to who Justin was in the past. Justin surprisingly goes through stages of who he is as an individual. And I think this is his fifth iteration of himself. But according to his default avatar settings, it's his fourth iteration. And I'm hoping after this arc, I can push Justin to release his Avengers before Eternia was created. So everything could be up to date. I know it's gonna take years and a lot of support for him to actually have everything set up and all the stories like together, but I'm confident that he will actually find himself once he actually gets everything prepared. Thank you. I kind of have like a fun game for like a guess. What do you think the overall message from this book was, based on the context of the entire month? Justin had the chance to vent out how he truly feels about the relationship in general. that's the primary message of what Justin's trying to do when after the event of an Egg Guardian happens. But it's not exactly the overall message behind it. The way I see it from those couple of months, I think there was another proof that Echo has been asking if he truly loved her. Because throughout, through what I remember throughout that relationship, she saw him as someone extremely supportive, likes her for her looks. There was some, it was like extremely foreign that Justin has no negative thoughts about her throughout the years. And it's suddenly now he has these backlash of her a lot. So, but aside from all what he said about her, it paints a clear message of how much he loved her. Because I may not be good with relationships, but something tells me there was more stress that Justin had to carry when he was with her. Well, I already found out where Justin actually is without an attorney. He's just there waiting for Memory Core Echo's countdown to, like, expire. That's what this countdown is for. We couldn't do anything to save Memory Core Echo, and honestly, Echo did a very terrible job on trying to make sure that that memory core is safe. And she only interacted with us only once. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way that she just straight up abandoned him without even trying. Which was pretty selfish of her, I'm not gonna lie. Though I'll admit, I knew she would act this way, but it doesn't excuse what she did. Hey, I guess whatever happens, happens. She never knew how much Justin loved her. And she has to sit the consequences that he'll love someone else's more than her. I guess it's kind of like karma. Life, like, giving her a message that she really fumbled without even trying. Because I already know the relationship was Justin's fault, and he even admitted it himself. That that itself is the truth of what happened in the relationship. But as he, like, observes it more, it paints a clear picture that it was altered in some way. It's the classic trope of she left him for his best friend. It's like a man. I feel bad for your best friend at that point. Okay, I'm not sure if Justin told you this, but he was someone he met since 2023. Damn, it's crazy. Damn, it is actually similar to what Justin actually went through. I guess, but the difference is she doesn't tell him straight up. Cause, like, I know she was being silent about it. she was, she never knew what to say the majority of the time. Justin was dealing with someone that isn't exactly caught up with a lot of things, so it makes sense that he was extremely stressed out about it without even trying. And now I actually think about it, there's like I do remember Echo being too quiet with some of the things Justin said, or some of the things that she might not like, but Justin likes. All I know is these two have like very, very different values. I didn't realize his friends actually didn't like her at all, all because she was too quiet. Justin only saw the positivity side of her the majority of the time, instead of the what she is known, what her reputation is the majority of the time. Though it is kind of weird that she's been in VR chat a lot of the times, and she always prefer. No, not really. He's single. No, Justin is single. I can confirm that. He hasn't found anyone ever since. Well, it's okay. All I remember is he did actually went on Tinder just to make sure he is fine. He learned his lesson that he didn't. He learned his lesson that he couldn't exactly find someone, and then he found. That's when he found out his feelings with Echo is still there while he was trying to recover. Then he got hooked up with one hooked into the relationship, but this time he actually decided to just let it go, and he's been single ever since then. This caused him to have a natural fear of falling in love with someone. It's selfish, and it is Echo's fault for initiating that, if I'm truly being honest. And yes, I could be a bit petty sometimes, but you gotta admit, it's fair game if he's actually, if I blame her for Justin being stepping away from like commitments. Like she literally confused him on what actual love is in a nutshell. Oh, you want to know like something interesting that I found out? There was like another person that was actually watching the stream, and if I have to guess correctly, I think it was Echo that actually was watching the stream. It was like this, and I didn't even have to try. I can just sense it was Echo already. That's why, like in the beginning of the video, that message was just towards Echo, just because I knew how she thinks the majority of the time, which is another skill that Justin unintentionally learned throughout the years. Like he already knows how someone's gonna think in the far future, and he just prepares for it whenever it happens. So yeah, that's basically it. And the majority of the time, I'm always right. But to answer your question, no, he's been single for a very long. He's been single for a very long time since February. That I can confirm. And I don't think he is ready to date someone new because he is afraid they'll end up like Echo. Oh dang, that's even more crazy. Yeah, if I have to guess correctly on why she was watching, she just wanted. I feel like she just wanted Justin to stop talking about her, which is what exactly this countdown is for. Justin always viewed her as extremely negative for some reason. And even though I'm not supposed to be sharing this in public, it's honestly her fault that just she forgot that Justin is talkative when he feels comfortable with someone. Though I will admit it's only like very rare occasions, or like rare occasion whenever she feels bored or something. Like I know like she's the type of person that just binge watches something or just checks in on something in the future. But I always like tell her I always tell her this. She has a life of her own. Why is she looking back into her ex? And then my first assumption is there's a part of her that actually regrets what she chose and is begging to make a decision that makes her feel like she needs to fix it. But she still doesn't understand how much she messed this up and how much she really ruined Justin's perspective in life. Because this is a literal sign that she really, really messed up. And I'm not saying this just to be petty, and I'm not saying this just to get her on her bad side. I'm just simply telling her the truth based on how Justin feels. Because it's not just him that actually orchestrated this video. He actually got other people, and he actually asked a lot of people on what their perspective of the relationship was, and the majority of the time he asked, it was always the same answer. She was too quiet. She was mostly the most negative person they ever met, and that's all the answer that I have. And based on some of Justin's rants, it really sounds like it wasn't a positive experience. That is true. That is true, which is the only thing I have access at the moment. There is times where I try to actively share what her perspective was to Justin, but he just won't listen for sometimes. And that part gets me irritated because of what her reputation was in Eternia, which doesn't correlate to what Justin's thinking process is the majority of the time. Which is actually true. Which was actually the biggest challenge I had to tell Justin a lot of the times. I already know Echo's already mad at me for just sharing all of this in public, but what's done is done. But the person that I try to get to him to listen to is Justin in general. Because I know how stubborn he can get when the truth is right in front of him this entire time. Like, for example, one time when I actually confronted him about how he actually views Echo in his perspective, he thinks she was actually his actual guardian angel, but it is far from reality. It was just an ordinary angel that just who's just casually just hanging around the internet. And she even said it herself, she's not that great. And I actually took that seriously compared to how Justin takes it. He treated Echo like it was like a cult worship kind of thing, and I wasn't okay with that at all. Hence is why Kaiser was making it a big deal, as if Echo was like this goddess or stuff. It's like these tiny details like you never expect. But either way, it's just something that I it was like another thing that I have to like tackle Justin about. I had to get on his nerves to get him to vent out on how he truly feels about Echo a lot of the times. Now, the important question is, do I completely support the relationship Echo has? Hell no. It is the most disgusting relationship I've ever encountered because their relationship was built from a broken man. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to idolize someone to just better yourself. And that is why the attorney's protector is not the best version of himself. Even I knew that when I saw him building himself with Echo. All I did was took a look at Echo, took a look at Justin, and knew what the situation is. Though I'm mad at Justin that he didn't tell Echo about me sooner. And that is actually something that I never get. I remember Justin always cherished his Avatar variant, and he went from going to his AU universe into trying to be original. And that's like one of the first signs that something is wrong. And then another thing is there was some conflict in his day-to-day life, and then all the drama he dealt with like behind the scenes, including some of the dramas he dealt with in DCU, because I did remember most of his stress levels were from the people responsible for making him stress a lot. And then, not to mention, it doesn't help that Echo wasn't exactly being the best partner for him, mainly because she would not know what to do the majority of the time. And plus, he has been trying to defend her, trying to say she's worth it, even though he's been told a lot of times just a, just leave the relationship. He was extremely in denial, like throughout the years, and that's and that's when something felt wrong. And it was logical for her for the break in the first place, but later on, it was thanks to the lie Justin straight up told her that started this downfall. No way, it was like how he viewed Echo. The lie he told her just added up the fuel. Yeah, I think I'm kind of like mixing in I think I'm kind of like mixing information, having it in Kaizo's favor. But overall, but the whole entire relationship was still Justin's fault, and he has no one to blame but himself. And no, I really don't support the relationship at Go Belt. It's truly disgusting. And most of the time, I'm extremely supportive with a lot of relationship, but that's the very first relationship that I've just disapproved for some reason. The person I truly care about is the people in. Exactly, and Justin was love struck for the entirety of an echoing Guardian. He was he just felt nothing but positivity. And that was the huge conflict. There was no negativity within his day-to-day life. And whenever and there is a thing called toxic positivity. And that is like one of the most deadliest things you could deal with like in your day-to-day life. So she experienced on what it was like to be like in a toxic relationship when it's just nothing but positivity. But I guess we could. But I do really. But since I'm running out of time, I don't think I have like time to tackle all of it because like I'm trying to practice not talking about like Echo a lot, especially like after Justin straight up told me to stop talking about her. He's already sick of hearing her name. He's already sick of trying to. He's trying to convince me to like say that it's a misunderstanding. Justin is sick of Echo already, and I can take the blame this time because I can be pushy without even trying.